What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in the Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, our Pagani Zonda Revolucion. We're coming to see today how well we can do this bad boy on the drag strip. Should be pretty epic. It does have a, well, what's left of a pretty epic engine in there today. It is the Pagani Zonda Revolucion. It has got 93,000 kilometers on it. We got it from the Junkyard, where it's in terrible, terrible condition. But we're interested in the engine at the moment. It has a V12 M120 engine in it with 800 factory horsepower. We're going to increase that quite a bit today, get some good numbers on there to get some good times down the drag strip. Can we get this one on to the speeder board? We'll find out a little bit later. How much did we pay for this one? At 29,096, and we can only sell it as it is for 26,504, losing out on 2,592. Not too bad. You can already see there is a lot missing from this engine. In fact, pretty much all of it. And in fact, a lot from the engine bay is missing as well. So we don't need to drain any liquids or anything like that later on, because none of it is there. So let's just get this lovely little Pagani started. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then with the Zonda in the car wash. Let's get it cleaned. It doesn't really matter what color it is. We're probably going to be changing it anyway. Plus, I think a lot of this bodywork's actually carbon fibre. It is. Look at that. It looks amazing in that yellow colour. Fantastic. Maybe we'll keep that, I'm not sure, with one off-coloured door. Let's get the interior done. Get this one back on the lift. Get that engine ripped out. And, well, there's nothing in the engine bay, so it's just straight into the suspension after that. And then on to the bodywork. Let's get over. Let's get on with it. The Pagani's up in the air. Let's get underneath and check for that oil pan. There's a cutout there. There is no oil pan, so let's just jump straight in. It's obviously rear-wheel drive, so we need to get these rear wheels off, along with these drive axles off first as well. So I'll crack on with that, and I'll see you in a second. There we go. That's the wheels and drive axles out. Jump straight in. There's obviously a starter missing. Let's have a look. There is a starter there. Add that one to the shopping list. Let's get the gearbox. Out you come. One rusty bolt just up there. Out you come. And that should be it. Although we could probably pull this block out, I'm still going to use the engine crane to do it regardless. So back down you come, Pagani. And let's go and grab that crane and get you pulled out of there. Not much left to it, but anyway, out you come. There we go. And let's get you put away. We are going to jump in and just quickly check out the engine bay. As I said, it is all missing by the looks of it. Exhaust. Obviously, the engine's now come out of there. Both fuel tanks, battery, everything. Brake servo, ABS pump and module, power steering reservoir. We've got a few bits up the front as well, but it is all missing. So I'm just going to jump straight in. We'll get all of this stripped out, and then we'll move on to getting all of the bodywork sorted. Ready to go back together. Head over to the paint shop, see what we've got for this one today, and then go back together looking hopefully awesome. That's all the mechanicals ready to go. Time to sort out this bodywork, and there isn't much left, so let's start getting it off. Out with the windshield, off with the door. Anything else around here? I don't think so. That's part of the exhaust. Out with the other door. What was that? That was part of the wheel. Anything there? No, no, no. Let's grab the interior out. I will be putting these seats back in because they just fit it perfectly. Won't be swapping it to Nismo seats or anything like that today. But is that everything? Let's have a look. Let's find out. 3%, so it's definitely not. What am I missing? Rear license plate and rear bumper. Did I honestly miss that? There we go. Out you come there. And that should be everything now. Let's go back in and check that. Nothing on there on this screen. 1%. The frame's at 37%, and I bought it for just under 30,000. I still think this one's going to sell for a little bit, so I'm going to say 1,500. 2,500 and not far off. We'll have a quick jump into the shop. You only get what's in the bodywork station for this one, the Pagani Zonda Revolution. That's everything. There are no alternative body tuning parts for this one or anything like that. So this is everything you need is in there. There's not very many pieces at all. Just got to grab some interior. So I'm going to get all of this sorted out. We'll get it all back on, then head over to the paint shop. Time to get this Zonda back together. Let's jump into it. Front clamshell, on you go. Look at that. All in the carbon fibre, looking good. And then in with the headlights. This just all is what it is. You can't change any of this. Just comes how it comes. That's the part we managed to replace. Nicely done. In with the windows. Carrying around to the other side. Get the other mirror in. Let's get all of this bodywork back together. In we go. In we go. Down here, we've got the rear bumper. We did repair that piece as well. Then a rear clamshell. That's a big old bit along with some little tail lights in there and in there. And that should be everything, I think. Let's get the license plate on. Nothing special on this one today. Just my VM plate with a Zonda written in the middle. Looking pretty sweet. And I think that's everything. So let's get the interior in. Over we go. Kept the Zonda seats, as I said I was going to. They look awesome. And also the Zonda steering wheel. We may try and apply a bit of colour to those later. See what turns out, how it looks. But that should be it for the minute. Let's just have a look. Did I get everything? Not that screen. 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this one over to the paint shop and see what we're going to do today. Here we are then in the paint shop with our Pagani Zonda Revolucion. Let's have a look at some of the liveries. Now, we've seen some of the liveries that come with it. You've got this orangey or off-orange stripe there with a little blue bit around the front there. In slot number 2, we got the red one with the blue bit around the front there. And in slot number 3, you've got the Italian flag racing stripe up the front. Now, I like options, so I added myself a few more colours. We've got a red on the red just here in case I ever fancy using that. We also have a black on black there in case I need it. And we have a white on white that we're going to go for today. I also added a yellow one just for good measure in case I wanted it. That was all of them, but we are going to go for the white. And I'm thinking a blue, a lovely matte blue, up to 250 maybe. Let's just put it up to there. If I could get it, there we go. And that's looking pretty sweet. You've got this matte blue carbon fibre on the body with the white stripe down the side and a little ring piece on the bonnet there, or hood, whatever you want to call it, or front clamshell as it's actually called. But looking pretty sweet. I love that. You've got the matte blue carbon fibre, the normal black carbon fibre, a bit of white racing stripe detail going on around there, and some red on the interior. That's what we're going to go for. Let's get it in. And we need to get everything painted. So let's just take a look. Now, with the Pagani, sadly, the clamshell doesn't open, so you just have to take it off to have a look underneath. And you can see there's a bit of blue in there, but it is very black. I can't really tell what side under the carbon fibre is, so we'll have to check that out in a bit. But probably blue, black and white on the engine. Hopefully the carbon fibre pieces we can get to go blue, and a lot of the other pieces we can get a solid white or something like that on there. As for the suspension, probably black, white and blue again. You saw that coming anyway, let's be honest. I'm feeling like a blue shocks with the white springs would look pretty cool on there. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to get everything painted, so I'm going to leave you guys for a little bit. I'll be back in a little while. We'll get it back on the lifter and start reassembly. That's everything painted, ready to go back on our Pagani. Just show you a couple of little pieces. We've obviously got some white on the red seats in there, looking pretty good. And a little bit of blue on that steering wheel just to finish it off. Looking pretty sweet in there. But let's get you up in the air because we've got to get this suspension all together. Starting with the shocks. There we go. A blue shock, white spring on there. Looking pretty good. Both front and back exactly the same. Matte white on the springs and then the custom colour, which is a little bit matte but not fully matte on there for the blue. Let's get in here and have a look then. What have we got? Steering rack in a blue there and the sway bar in white with the inner tie rod in white and the knuckle also in white there. Big bit of splash. And then we've got a blue outer tie rod on there. The bottom suspension arm is in black here. In we go. Looking pretty good. We've got a sway bar front end link also in the black connecting there. And then the upper suspension arm is in that lovely blue. On you go. And then obviously we've got that shock going in there. Looking pretty sweet. Very pleased with that so far. Let's crack on. The cover's in a blue. The wheel hub itself is in black, only because it goes metallic-y. I didn't want it to, so we kept it in the black. Hub bearing in you go. Brake disc. We've got a white hubcap on there just to finish it off. And then the last piece is this matte black brake caliper. Looking pretty sweet there. Not sure what colour we're going to do the wheels today. I'm hoping for a white, but I really want them Zonda rims. I don't know if the gold will paint white. We'll have to find out a little bit later on, but let's get down the back and get all of this together. It is very similar to the front. We've got a white knuckle. We've got a blue upper suspension arm. In we go. And down the bottom, we've got a black lower suspension arm. Looking pretty good on there. In you go. And then we've got a lovely little shock on here, same as the front one. We've already seen it. Looking beautiful. Covers in the blue. Then we've got the wheel hub in a black there. Let's get the bearing in. There should be a drive axle. That will go in a little bit later on once we got the gearbox and engine in. Brake pads, and then just to finish it off, the brake calipers just in a matte black on there. As I said, drive axle to go in. That one will be in black, but we will see it a little bit later on. While we're here, let's get the fuel tanks in. I've just done both of these in a matte white with the fuel pump just in a little blue there. There we go. I'm going to crack on with the other side. Get this all complete. We'll move on to the engine bay, and then we'll move on to building that beautiful V12. And I've just gone up to level 70 while we're recording. What a good time to go. So yes, get it finished. Then we'll build the engine. See you in a bit. There we go. Mostly blue, a little splash of black, and a bit of white in there as well. Looking absolutely fantastic. But we need to get this engine bay all sorted out. Let's just start with the wishy-washy reservoir. In you go. We've got an ECU Type B up here, if I could click on it. And a coolant reservoir just down there. Then the main part, we've got a black radiator at the front here with a black fan housing kit and chrome blue fans. Very dark chrome blue, but it sort of matches in with what we've got going in with the suspension there. And the fuse box base is in a dark blue as well. Get all that finished off in a bit, but we've got a few pieces to go in up the front, or down the back, should I say. Brake servo in you go. ABS pump in that lovely blue, and the module just in a black on top of it, just to conceal it a little bit, because that piece is very metallic-y. And then just over the other side here, we got a lovely little battery and the power steering reservoir ready to go in a bit later. We got that big beast of a V12, which I need to get all built, finished off, and ready to go. But before we do that, I need to finish off this fuse box. So I'll get this all done. Then we'll go and build that insane V12. Hopefully it's looking awesome. Time to get this beast of a V12 back together, ready to drop back in our beautiful Pagani out there. We've got the block in a matte black, the oil pan also in a matte black. But let's crack on and get some stuff in here. The engine heads are in that blue, looking pretty sweet. And I'll be honest, they haven't come too metallic around the outside. If I just stick down here, you can see it's quite dark and you can't really tell the metallicness of it, which I really like. Very pleased about how that came out. Let's get the other one on. On you go. Now, we've got lots to go inside these today. They're quite insane. We've got a camshaft. Well, we've got 4 camshafts, 12 spark plugs, and we've also got 20 camshaft caps to get in there. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll be back in just a moment. There we go. All the camshaft caps in, spark plugs, camshafts in, everything. Move down the front now. We've got cam gears to go in. In you go, and in you go there. Should have a timing chain next. There it is. And then we should have some lovely Pagani shoes. In you go. One there. One there. And then we've got another little one just at the top here underneath. In you go. Then what should we have? Timing covers. In we go. The bottom one here in a lovely blue. In you go there. And then the top 2 are both in a matte white. Looking pretty good. In you go and in you go. We had another little piece just at the top here in a blue just to separate them up a little bit. Looking pretty sweet. Water pumps in the white. In you go. Looking good there. And then on top of the water pump, we've got a thermostat in the blue. Separating it up. I really think that looks absolutely fantastic. Very pleased with that little piece there. The idle roller's in the black. The idle roller down here is also in a black. And the crankshaft pulley's black. Along with the 2 water pump pulleys on there. So let's get them on. In you go. And in you go just there. Then we've got the alternator, which is in a lovely little blue just down here. And the power steering pump also in a blue over on this side, looking pretty sweet. Serpentine belt in a black, and then the belt tensioner just in a white to finish that off. That's looking pretty sweet up there. Let's move on up. Let's get a head cover on in the white. Didn't want them in the gold. Looking pretty sweet on there. In you go. Then we've got some lovely coils to go in here. So let's just get all of them in. And then we've got a secondary head to go on over the top of this one. In you go. And let's get you on there in the lovely blue, the carbon fibre blue, matching on the body with some blue bits for the AMG and the Zonda, keeping the R in the red there. Fuel filter just down the back here in a lovely little blue. And if we just nip underneath here, we've also got the oil filter in a blue as well. The exhaust manifolds, these are in a matte white, which does mean the whole exhaust is in a matte white. And hopefully it's going to look fantastic poking out the back. Up we go to the intake manifold. We've got that in a white as well. In you go there. And then just under here, we've got a lovely little blue fuel rail. Just finishing that one off, keeping it separate a bit. And then on top, the carbon fibre manifold cover, also in that carbon blue. We've got on the body with the air filter just in the top there. You won't see that air filter when it's in because it sits underneath the hood scoop, looking pretty awesome. that's it. I'm not going to make you watch me do the other side exactly the same as this one. So I'm going to crack on with that, grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in. Hopefully it looks insane, but we are going to have to take off that rear clamshell to see it. Never mind. It looks awesome. There she is, completely finished, looking insane. I love that. I think it looks beautiful in the blue and white with a tiny splash of red just up there. But let's get it dropped in the car. Over we go. I've got the clamshell off so that we can get it in and have a look. In you go there. Let's get the crane put away. We don't need that one anymore. And that's looking pretty special in there. Very pleased with that. You've got some light reflecting off it, giving you a bit of purple every now and then, which is weird because the first Pagani Revolution we did was actually in a purple. But that's looking pretty sweet. Let's get it up in the air and get the gearbox, the last bits of drive shaft in, and that starter, along with the finishing bits of the exhaust. In we go. The gearbox, I've done this one in a dark blue. It's much darker than everything else, but because of the material it's made of, it actually looks a pretty good match, if you ask me, to everything else in there. Swing around to here. The starter, we've just done that one in a little matte white for good measure. And then the drive axles, these are just in black. We got the black into the blue there. Looking pretty sweet. On with the other side. In you go. And then the last piece, which I can't get from here, apparently. So we've got to bring it back down again just to get the exhaust back in. Down we go. And up we go into here. There we go. That's a good spot. No, I still can't get it from there. So we've got to click on the engine and go back to there. There we go. And let's get the final bit of the exhaust in that lovely white there. Looking absolutely incredible. Beautiful, but we have got to get the rear clamshell back on, which does also mean I've got to put these rear lights back in. And there we go. And there we go. But you've got that white exhaust sticking through there. That looks absolutely beautiful. Very, very pleased with that. Just got to get some wheels done and get all the liquids topped up. Then we can get this car outside in the sun, all finished off. Here we are then, all finished with our Pagani Zonda Revolution, looking absolutely beautiful with that matte carbon fibre blue on the top there, white accents, and then the black carbon fibre all around underneath. Looking absolutely fantastic. Hard to check a lot out on this one. We can't open the clamshell here. We can't open that clamshell there either. So if we want to get in and check out the engine, we have to go in through the exhaust there. I've gone a bit too close. Looking absolutely beautiful. Still lots of that carbon blue on there. Bits of white and a tiny splash of black as well. And the suspension looking just as good. Very pleased with all of this one. Looks absolutely fantastic. Let's just talk about these rims very quickly. Now, these are not the Zonda Revolution rims. These are the Hawaii rims. And the reason I've gone for these is because I wanted them in white. And the proper rims only go in that gold. Even with the Quality of Life mod, you can't paint over them. It doesn't go white. So we went with the matte white on these. The front rims here are a 20-inch rim with a 255 width and a 30 profile. Looking pretty sweet. Down at the back, they're a little bit bigger. These are 22-inch rims with a 335 width and a 25 profile on there. Still looking absolutely beautiful. Very, very pleased with this one. I think it looks fantastic. Better than my first one I did, where we did it in a purple. We've also got a little bit of colouring on the seats there. We've got the seatbelt straps just in a lovely little white and the steering wheel in a blue. There, in we go. Looking pretty swish in here. Now, these windows are tinted. I've just taken a little bit out so that we can still see where we're on the drag strip and we can see where our opponent is. But I love the interior of this car. Let's get it started and hear that V12 whine. There it is. Very whiny V12. But that's what you expect. Let's give it some gas. Beautiful sounding V12 there. Very pleased with that. But let's get this one onto the dyno, see what horsepower we've got today and what this beautiful Pagani's drag rating is. Here we are then on the dyno with the V12 Pagani Zonda Revolution, 800 factory horsepower. How much have we added today with all of the performance parts? And what will this Pagani's drag rating be? Let's have a look. A gain of 808 horsepower, bringing us up to 1,607. Surely that should be 1,608, but there we go. Close enough. Pretty good. 101% on there. And our drag rating, that wine's finally gone. And our drag rating at a 999. Pretty good. Let's go and check out the gearbox setup for this one today. This is what I've gone for, a 3 ratio, 112 kilometers an hour in first gear, 501 in the 6th gear. We'll see if we can quite push up to that. We do have a ECU already tuned and no carburetors on this beast of a V12. So let's get over to the drag strip, see what this one can do, and try and win another competition. Here we are then, back at the drag strip, ready for another King of the Sands tournament with our Pagani Zonda Revolucion in A-class. Let's get into it. Pay the entry fee. Who have we got? Oh, it looks like still mostly unicorns, but a nice little mix. Our first race is against the Dodge Charger 777. I am going to build that one very soon. Who else we got here? French Toast in a unicorn. Nice to see you, buddy. King Slowpoke up there in the electric Ferrari 250 again. You do like that one. Let's get stuck into it. Let's see if we can beat our first opponent in the Dodge Charger 777. I do like the Dodge Charger 777. I cannot wait to get mine built. We do have one in the parking ready to go soon. Just can't find the right time to fit it in. It isn't up next, I can tell you that. But let's see if we can beat it. Inside the Pagani we go. Let's get it going. Off the line. Lots of acceleration there. In second, into third, into fourth. Where are we? We're neck and neck. This is not good. Into fifth. We do look like we're pulling away now, though. That's definitely good, but we are pulling into the barrier a bit. So let's straighten up and get into 6th gear. What are we going to cross the line at with this one? We've lost. We've lost. I can't believe it. The Dodge Charger 777 out of nowhere. Just pulling away and getting the victory. I am very disappointed by that. Not much in it at all. That's a bit of a shame. But look at that. 8.665 to the quarter of a mile at 297 kilometers an hour. And 20.361 to the 1 mile at 417. But we just about lost out with a 20.198 at 334 kilometers an hour from the Dodge Charger 777. I can't believe it. Straight away we're out. We'll get a couple more in, just some 1v1s with some randoms to get some good times. I can't believe the Zonda's out first round, though. Shocked. Well, sadly, we got knocked out in the first round by the Dodge Charger 777, which then made it through to the next round, but couldn't beat Matteo. What a shame. Spooky, how are you doing? It's a shame you knocked out the 777 in the unicorn, but you did make it to the final. Are you going to go on and win this one, Spooky? Let's find out. You did! Congratulations. We were knocked out. You won. Bit of a shame that we got knocked out in the first round, but let's go and do a couple more 1v1s just to get some base times for this Pagani. Let's see how we can do. Well, we've got to randomize yet, but it's loaded us in on the Dodge Charger 777. I think it knows. Let's give it 3. 1, 2, 3. And our first race is against, or our second race technically, is against the V4 Unicorn Mustang. Let's get into it. It's one we have seen many a times before, so let's just jump back in and let's get this one going. Try and beat this one and not lose in the first race again. There we go. We got off the line. Into second, into third. Come on, Pagani, you can do it. We need you to hold that speed out into 4th gear, into 5th. Let's see how we're doing. We're in front at the moment. That is a good sign. And we're not needing to pull left or right. That's pretty good. We need to get up into 6th. We are, oh no, we're crossing over. We don't want to do that. Cross the line. We did win right at the last. I thought we were going to lose that then when we got a little bit lost at the end. 8.710, still not quite as fast as our first run. And a 20.349, but we did manage to beat something. Let's get into the last one and get a good comparison of the times. Let's just get in and do 3 more randomizations. 1, 2, 3 against the V3 Unicorn. I'm sick of the Unicorn. We're going to do one more and one more. I don't want to do the 777. This is all we're getting. There we go. We'll do the 250 GT Bernaletta. Something a bit different on the drag strip. Maybe we'll absolutely destroy it. Let's get in. Let's find out. Well, our car looks a bit purple in this light. I finally noticed. It's taken me that many races to realise. But that red Ferrari, just, it looks beautiful in any colour. I just hope we can beat it, considering we lost our first race in this Pagani. So let's get inside and get this one going. Off the line, we managed to pull away all right. Into second, into third, before it starts wobbling around too much. And into fourth. Come on, Pagani, we can do this. Let's get into fifth. It's pulling away from us. Is it going to top out like they did before? It is. Off you go. See you later. We need to straighten out a bit. Into sixth gear. And what are we going to cross the line at? 4:17, which is a bit of a shame. Our first run was 8.665. This one is our quickest with an 8.639. Very, very pleased with that. But we did have a 418 km/h top speed on our second run. Sadly, we're going to mark it down as this one, which is 417 and a 20.321, which is also the fastest to the 1 mile. So I'm glad we got that extra last race in and just managed to squeeze out the victory over the Ferrari 250 GT Bernaletta. But we are down on drag racing. We lost 1,000, our entry fee, which is a bit of a shame. So let's get back to the garage. Let's see if the Pagani, where it fits on the speeder board, and give it a good send-off. Well, there it is, number 7 on the speeder board, the Pagani Zonda Revolucion, sadly knocking the Smith & Parker Outlaw, our own build, off of the speeder board. Bit of a shame, but 1,607 horsepower, 8.639 seconds to the quarter of a mile, and 20.321 to the 1 mile, with a top speed in its fastest run of 417 kilometers an hour, or 259 miles per hour. Pretty good. I'm not going to lie, I don't think I was quite expecting to even get this one on the speeder board, so a bit shocked by that one. But there we go. Beautiful monster beast of a V12. Let's go see it outside, say goodbye, and see if we can make a profit from this one. There she is. Clamshells don't open up, so I can't show you any of that, but we have seen it all before. Beautiful looking car. Absolutely stunning. Let's talk some facts and figures about this one as we get in underneath. Stay in that mode, please. Thank you. So I bought the car for $29,096 at the beginning of the episode, losing out on $2,592 of profit if we were to sell it there and then, which we obviously weren't going. We've since spent another $91,621 on this beautiful Pagani, pitting our total spend at $120,717, but she does look stunning. All of the paintwork, that upgraded engine with all of the performance parts, absolutely beautiful. But can we make a profit from this one? Let's have a look. All 100% completed there. Just under, or just over 93,000 kilometers on this one, and we restored it from the junkyard, which we don't do very often here, but it's nice to do now and then. That engine ramped up to 1,607 horsepower, a gain of 101%. Pretty good, but can we make a profit? Wow, with a sale of 427,638, we certainly can. Take away our 120,717, leaves us with a profit of 306,921. That is some very good profit there. Very well done. We did pay to enter a tournament, which cost us 1,000, which does leave us with our total profit of actually 305,921, but still good profit nonetheless. Off you go, Pagani. That was a lot of fun. I do enjoy the Paganis. And we did manage to get it 7th on the speeder board. What have we got up next? Well, we're going to do another Toyota Supra. I've done this Toyota Supra recently, but this is a new edition. This is the Toyota Supra HKS kit. I've not done this one yet. It's a wide boy. We did get it from the bad auction house. The frame only at 1%. I don't think I've ever seen it quite that low, but quite a terrible car. This is in very bad condition. Lots of parts missing. So there's going to be a lot of work going into this one. It does have in it the i6 double overhead cam BE2 turbo engine again, with 661 of factory horsepower. We do like a 2JZ, so it is nice to do it, but it does seem like they're coming thick and fast. But did we get a good deal on this one? We did not. 58,851 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 57,706, losing out on 1,145, but I'm pretty confident we will be able to claw that one back by the end of the next video. Nice HKS kit, wide body on there. This one's going to be fun. That's it for today, though. I do hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving me a comment, letting me know what you thought of the video, and sharing it as far and as wide as you possibly can. We're aiming to get as many subscribers as we can, pushing towards the 500 as it is at the moment. Hopefully we can get there soon. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you got up to in the world. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.